None of the other bedrooms are heated during the winter.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Ullman.
Goodbye, girls. And here are your quarters.
Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. And as you can see from the title, today we're talking about The Shining, but I wanted to do something a little different today. Instead of focusing on Jack or Wendy, I want to talk about some of those weird staff members from the Overlook Hotel, because I have a theory about who or what they might be. So let's get started. Now, the first staff we actually meet at the Overlook is this front desk lady that Jack speaks with before he goes into Ullman's office. She seems normal enough, but actually, at the same time, we do see a waiter in the background carrying a tray. Again, he seems normal. As Jack walks to Mr. Ullman's office, we also see this bellboy or porter carrying someone's luggage, and he also has a red-colored jacket on. Next, we see Jack get to Ullman's office, and inside we meet the general manager of the Overlook, Mr. Ullman, and his secretary, Susie. Everyone seems very friendly as they greet Jack. As the interview starts, we are also joined by this third man named Bill, though, to be honest, I've always felt this guy seemed like a third wheel. Apparently, he is the on-season caretaker, but that isn't really made clear here, giving him an odd presence, in my opinion. And the most glaring and obvious reason for this whole scene to be weird is the fact that this window behind Ullman, that is an impossible detail. That window shouldn't show light and trees from the outside because there's actually a hallway running behind Ullman's office. See the wall hanging? This is the hallway, and Ullman's window should look out here, not showing an outside scene. So, what's going on with the people that work here in this office that they don't notice that or treat it as normal? Something's not right. After the family drives up to the Overlook to move in, because Jack has gotten the caretaker's job, notice these moving guys and cleaning guys, often wearing gray or muted tone clothes, because we also see them in the Colorado Lounge, apparently cleaning up and packing some things away. One guy is even vacuuming the top of a couch. But notice the guys in here are all wearing those gray type uniforms or muted clothing. It's almost ghostly, made even more so by what seems like dusk light coming through the stained glass windows. And as I've said before, these guys don't seem to ever speak to each other. It's odd. Workmen are usually a bit more lively, but not these guys. Are they possibly ghosts of the Overlook? Or spirits that just inhabit this place? I think it's possible. And notice, our bellboys don't ever seem to speak either, though their uniform is a bit more lively. Could they be the spirits of former employees, caught in some kind of time loop, stuck at the Overlook? Now, notice these girls at the back, going up the stairs carrying suitcases. They can't be guests, because all the guests are gone by now. These are staff, supposedly leaving, and yet they're going back up the stairs, deeper into the hotel, similar to these girls walking back into the Overlook, who say goodbye to Mr. Ullman. I've noted before it's strange, since they should be leaving and going out the door, not coming back in. Do these staff members never leave this place? It's a fair question, since this is a haunted sort of hotel. And then there's these girls going down the stairs in what seems to be the staff quarters near the Torrance apartment area. They also say goodbye to Mr. Ullman, so our attention is drawn to them. Since we have seen several female staffers going up and down stairs here, I am reminded of a book called Up the Down Staircase from 1964 about a New York City school teacher. It's very possible that Kubrick, who was from New York, was at least aware of this book's title, as it was rather well known. Now, when the family meet the head chef, Mr. Hallorann, he gives Wendy and Danny a tour of the kitchen. But as they are walking here, I want you to notice this elevator to the side. This is a very odd scene, and there's really no reason for this random guy to be loading what looks like 20 or 30 large suitcases and bags into this elevator. Who is he? He also doesn't speak and seems to be wearing a team jacket. And before you tell me those bags belong to the staff, all the staff we saw upstairs were carrying their own bags. They had their own rooms. There would be no reason for them to store this somewhere, let alone in the kitchen. And why is he loading all of these bags by himself? Do all of these bags possibly symbolize former guests? Perhaps those guests whose spirits never left the Overlook? And before you dismiss that theory, remember that elevators are a uniquely haunted space within the Overlook. Now, I should say a word about our head chef, Dick Hallorann. I have to say, I don't feel he's a ghost. He's also one of the most likable characters in the film. And since we do see him traveling later and also driving back to the Overlook to help Danny and Wendy, I feel that is proof that Mr. Hallorann really is able to leave the Overlook. He's not some spirit or ghost that is stuck there in a time warp. Maybe the fact that Mr. Hallorann has the shining ability, like Danny does, protects him from the evil influences of the Overlook to some extent. But speaking of time warp, we have to mention Lloyd the bartender from the Gold Room, who seems to appear after Jack makes a wish in front of the magic Gold Room mirrors, as well as Grady, who appears as a waiter at the Gold Room, but was apparently the previous caretaker at some point. I feel both of these guys are ghostly presences, and although there are strange things going on with them, I think they both need their own video. So today, we're concentrating on the other staff. Now, I'd like to say a word about the concept of time warps or time loops in regard to The Shining, since many people, including me, think some of the staff members here may be caught in one. A time warp means a distortion in the flow of time whereby people from one period may be moved to another. And this is often used in science fiction stories or films. Now, a time loop may be slightly different since it involves someone who may be experiencing the same time or place or actions over and over again. And I think there are characters here, like the cleaners, who may be in a time loop. They are just sort of stuck here, as if they are experiencing time like it was a Mobius strip, just going around and around, but not getting anywhere necessarily. At least that's my opinion. So, to sum up, Today we took a look at some of the odd staff members of the Overlook Hotel. From Mr. Ullman and Susie, and that third man Bill at the interview, who bizarrely never notice that the window behind them should not exist. It should look out on this hallway. So why don't they notice that? Does this whole place run on fairy tale rules? Then we have that out of place guy in the elevator in the kitchen, loading bags. But for who and why? All the guests are gone. Do the bags represent guests that will never leave? Is he caught in a time loop? And how about those cleaners and movers we see, often in ghostly gray clothes, like apparitions? It's odd. You don't hear normal conversations or even a radio playing. So, in a way, I do feel these cleaners and movers we see in the lobby and the Colorado Lounge are ghosts or spirits that may represent all of the staff that have worked here down through the years. And yes, in a way, they are caught in a time loop. It's like they never leave. And some of our Gold Room guests are in a time warp. They seem like reflections of things past, reflections of all the grand guests and all the grand parties that once were. And there's a lot of reflections here. Well, that's my new video about some of those weird staff members that we don't usually notice at the Overlook Hotel. I hope you liked it. I'm working on a special video for Halloween season for next week, and I hope to have that finished soon. And a huge thank you to my awesome comment section. I really love reading what you have to say. Also, it would help my channel if you did hit that subscribe button and also liked and shared the video. But either way, my name is Shim. Thank you for spending time with me, and have a great day.
Mrs. Torrance, your husband introduced you as Winifred. Now, are you a Winnie or a Freddie?
I'm a Wendy.
Oh, Wendy, that's nice.